Head Turners, welcome back. If you're new here, I'm Monique Head, and this is the place where self-mastery becomes a lure. I share tips on how you can use your feminine influence so that you can be the woman who gets what she wants in both love and life. And with that, let's get into it. Because there's a lot of talk right now. There's a lot of talk about, people quitting relationships, about men not measuring up, about how stressful it is to date. And I get it. And so you're scared. You're scared and you've convinced yourself that you just want to be left alone forever. But we know that's not true, right? And I want to take a step back because at a high level, there's a lot at play. There's a lot at play. And when you're looking at like your social media feed, even your feed here on YouTube, when it comes to relationships, men and women, we're like this. We're like this. And I want to just reassure you that we're not at war with men. We wrestle not with flesh and blood, but against spiritual wickedness in high places, against powers and principalities. Okay? So I want us to go back. I want to take you back to when we were naked and free in the garden. When humanity was naked and free in the garden, and then Adam and Eve ate from the apple, right? This is in Genesis. We all this ain't you, right? I'm saying this because you think that you do what you want to do. You think that you want to be left alone just because you can't be bothered, and you all this other stuff. It ain't worth it to date. Your thoughts are not really your own. Okay. Part of it, yes, in the flesh and the earth suit, yes. But at a high level, no, it's not. Because before we were naked and free, and then once we were under the curse because Adam and Eve ate the apple, the Bible tells us what? When God called Adam and he was in the garden, Adam was hiding. He said, I was afraid because I was naked and I hid. And what I want to offer to you is that you can really swap out nakedness for your own situation, for why you're afraid to date. I was afraid because I was in debt, I'm afraid because I'm in debt and I hid. I'm afraid because I don't think I'm exotic enough, so I hid. I'm afraid because my body ain't what I want it to be ideally, so I hid. I'm afraid because I've never seen it before. I'm afraid because I've never had it before, so I hid. Right? I'm afraid because I had it and I felt rejected, so I hid. All of these are consequences of the curse. This sort of shame, right? The Bible tells us that they were naked and felt no shame. Naked, can you imagine? Girl, just wild and free. They were naked and felt no shame. This is a consequence of the curse, and we're all a part of it. We're all under it. And this is why a part of your mission on this earth is to step into who you're supposed to be. It's to stand against the wiles and the schemes of the enemy, so that ultimately you can be who you're supposed to be, right? So that you can step into the fullness of what God has for you. And having a relationship with an amazing man is a part of that. Is a part of that plan, not to harm you, but to give you a hope, a future, and an expected end. See, the thing you're afraid because you think it's going to limit you, you think it's going to hurt you, it's going to harm you. But the thing that you're afraid of is actually the thing that's going to expand you. Life doesn't come into existence to waste itself. It comes into existence to expand itself, right? And having an amazing relationship and having some skills to date um, is a part of life and life more abundantly, right? So I'm gonna tell you what my husband told me when we first got together. Don't run from it, run to it. Okay, don't run from it, run to it. And I say this also because it's not doom and gloom. Like we speak to the enemy, boom, we speak to the enemy, right? You can speak at a high level to the workings to the spiritual powers at play, but ultimately you also have to have some skills, okay? Because the fight is fixed in your favor. You also have to have skills and to deploy the skills when it's time. And the skills I'm referring to are the 6 self-mastery skills, right? These are the 6 skills that you need to become the woman, be the woman who gets what she wants in love and life. So as I think about and as I'm editing this video, I realize that I have not done a good job. I have not done a good job of telling you why you need these skills and why they're so very important to you. So I'm talking about the feminine influence path to becoming framework. And under that framework, under that umbrella, there are 6 self-mastery skills that every woman needs to be the woman who gets what she wants in both love and life. And let me also clarify this, like the feminine influence path becoming, those skills aren't to help you stand against the wiles of the enemy. That's what the full armor of God is for. That's what, let me get it. That's what this is for, right here, right? This is to help you stand against the wiles of the enemy. The feminine influence path to becoming a framework helps you to be who you're supposed to be. That's what we're talking about. That's what I'm mentioning in this video here is about your being who you're supposed to be, right? The process helps you to find your allure so that you can become the woman who what? Has what she wants in both love and life. So with that, back to our regularly scheduled program. So why not step into this? Why not step into the structure, right? of the way that God, the way that it's been set up and designed for us, the masculine and feminine dynamics and the energetics of a thing. Understanding that men and women, that we need each other, not only for survival, but for full expression. Full expression. You get to step into the fullness of what God has for you, right? This is a fulfillment. This becomes a fulfillment. Yes, this is God's plan. This is a part of God's infrastructure. This is a part of God's infrastructure. Why not step into something that your creator, your manufacturer has set up for you? This is the fulfillment. This is life and life more abundantly. Being afraid to date is not life. Life is not life. Having nobody to look at you and be like, I see you did something different with your hair. Because you know they ain't going to say, oh, your hair is so beautiful. You know, it's like, I see you did something different with your hair. Someone to notice you. Come on. That's what this is about. That's life and life more abundantly. And you cannot be a fully expressed woman if you're not in a relationship, right? There's still a part that you're not experiencing the completeness and the fullness of life in the way that it's been designed for, in a way that it is available to you. Okay. So why not? Why aren't you stepping into this? Well, because it's hard. It's hard because you haven't seen it before. It's hard because you haven't had a long-term relationship before. It's hard because it hasn't worked out for the long run before. Um, and I think I said you haven't seen it, and maybe it's hard because you just don't have the skills and you're out of practice. See, the reason why you're afraid to date and you haven't attracted the kind of man that you want is that you have not become the woman you need to be in order to attract him. And this is why I want to invite you to give some serious consideration to coaching. Number one, because iron sharpens iron. And number two, because I guide you through the feminine influence path to becoming framework. And when we work together, we're gonna be examining your beliefs because you're gonna see how your beliefs are reflected in your reality. And we got to clean it up, right? We got to clean up your beliefs. Clean beliefs, clear beliefs, right? Pure beliefs, high level beliefs. That's what we want for you. And the beliefs need to be clean because what I hear is that you're scared to date. But really, at the purest level, the question that you're asking yourself is, can I really have that? And that refers to your love story, whether it's the greatest love story or let's just start with something simple, maybe having 2 to 3 suitors. How about going on some dates with men that you actually like and that you can see yourself with? How about that is having a man invest in you, his time and his financial resources? We're going to start with that, right? That's why the beliefs have to be clean. They have to be pure. They have to be clear, right? And this is a part of conquering your inner game. And conquering your inner game is actually one of the 6 self-mastery skills that's under the feminine influence path to becoming framework. And when we conquer the inner game, right, and when we clean up this belief, it eliminates the need to protect yourself by blocking love, right? Instead, you could remove that masculine armor and develop more authentic ways of showing up in the world and more authentic ways of being. See, what conquering the inner game is that we focus on the belief in order to create safety. It creates the safety within. And when you feel safe, you feel more comfortable, you feel safe to reveal more like the truest parts of yourself, the vulnerable parts of yourself. And this is so important to you because guess what? Right now, when it comes to love, you're showing up like a teenage girl, right? You're a grown woman, but you're not a full woman. So that's why I'm saying this is for you. You have an opportunity to step into this. Back to the regularly scheduled program. And so when we clean this up, you're going to conquer your inner game. We're going to make sure that your mindset is right for the right man, and so that you can radiate, right? Because when you show up with this inner glow, you're going to draw in the right man who's captivated by you. He's captivated by your presence. He'll be captivated by your energy, and he'll be captivated by your self-assuredness, right? So as I close out, I want you to really think about this because there's some women who will look at this video and not even make it to the end and be like, I'm done with that. I closed that part off a long time ago and it was the best decision. Like, okay, fine. But if you have eyes to see and ears to hear, and if you especially are a woman of faith and you believe that your God, your creator, God Almighty in heaven, maker of heaven and earth, creator of all things that are seen and unseen, if you are believing him for your job and your income, right? You believe in him for all other things. Why not believe him when it comes to love, right? If you have the desire, for amazing love and, someone to do life with and someone to go on dates with and someone who has your back, someone to take the load, just again, to do life with. If you have the desire, know that desire is spiritual in nature and it represents a divine plan for your life. Okay. And with that, with that, I want to say this too. If you know, as we close out, if you know a woman who could really enjoy this type of discourse, then do me a favor. Just share this with one woman that you know, because when you share, you add value. Okay? My name is Monique Head, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care and God bless.